Hi, my name is Christian Flooded and welcome to Ask Dr. Christian. In today's episode, we're going to be asking, does my child need to see a chiropractor? So should my child be getting treated by a chiropractor? As a chiropractor, I'll give a slightly biased answer and say yes. All children should be getting treated by a chiropractor. Everybody should be getting treated by a chiropractor. Chiropractic is awesome. Yay, chiropractic. But then at the same time, no. Not every child needs to be treated by a chiropractor. Kids are quite resilient. They're tough, they bounce a bit. They can handle a few knocks and falls. They've got that Wolverine factor that allows them to recover from a lot of things really, really well. But then not all of them do. So the more pertinent question to ask then might be, how can I tell if my child needs to be assessed by someone? Now there are several factors that could be indicative of an underlying problem. So let's discuss a few. In 2012, Weinraub et al. Conducted a study of over 1,200 infants to try and normalize sleeping data for children. And what they found was kids fell into two categories, sleepers and non-sleepers. And by about 6 months of age, the majority of children were able to sleep through the night. Now, this is 66% of the 1,200 infants by 6 months of age were only waking once in the week. Compare this to the other group who were waking every night during the week still at that age. And it wasn't until 15 months of age that we started to see this normalization of sleeping patterns where they're only waking once per week instead. So this suggests most children should be able to sleep through the night by about 6 months of age. Now there are a lot of factors that could influence this one, so take that one with a grain of salt. How about balance? Most kids love doing balancing kind of assessments, so you can actually perform this one and turn it into a bit of a game. The Pediatric Balance Score actually includes one subset that talks about the ability to stand on one leg. Now to achieve a perfect score, they should be able to stand on one leg with their eyes closed for 10 seconds. The research suggests that most children after the age of 6 or 7 should be able to do this task. Clinically, we actually find it's quite younger than that. At about 4 years of age, we would expect clinically a child to be able to stand on one leg for 5 to 10 seconds with their eyes open. By 5 years of age, we would expect them to be able to do that with their eyes closed. Go on, try it yourself. Stand on one leg there and close your eyes. How well can you perform that test? How about your kids? Now this is a static test. You can actually test this one with a dynamic action to it. So standing on one leg is static. What we do is we do a tandem walking, which is one leg straight after the other, and get them walking in a straight line. This can be performed not necessarily on a brick wall like this, but on the ground here, and again with our eyes open and our eyes closed. And it may give us an indication of something not working the way that it should be. Is your child rolling properly? Are they crawling in? Are they doing the proper crawling style? Have they learned how to sit? And have they reached these milestones at the age-appropriate times? Now, in a study we had recently published, we actually looked at developmental delay, and we found that infants with shoulder problem were nearly 3 times more likely to present with a delay in development than their counterparts. Typically, this was in rolling and crawling. And we put this down to a simple pain aversion behavior. It was sore, so they didn't want to use their arms, so they didn't roll and they didn't crawl. This could be a simple explanation as to what may be going on in your circumstances as well. Simple pain aversion type behaviors. So have a look at developmental milestones. Are they ticking the right boxes there? Because it may be another thing underlying causing their delays. In 2012, Dr. Adam Stewart, a brilliant chiropractor and in fact one of my teachers, conducted a pilot study of women and their breastfeeding experiences. He asked all the participants to complete a survey and he was asking about, is there any fussiness? Is there any preferencing to one side? Is there any pulling off, arching off, gagging, choking, coughing, dribbling? And he asked the parents to complete this survey before and after a treatment. And he found that after treatment, all infants involved experienced an improvement in breastfeeding ability. So now, breastfeeding difficulty itself, there are again many factors that could be contributing to that difficulty, but there may be an underlying musculoskeletal component as well that may need to be addressed. What's the take home here? If you have a child and you've got that inkling of a concern, that something's tickling that bone of yours and making you question, is this normal? It may be worthwhile getting them further assessed, because there may be an underlying problem that's causing this presentation or these changes that you're experiencing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it answered some of the questions that you may have. And again, as always, if you have a question, you can ask Dr. Christian.